Look at your fucking jug. What's in that?
It's a bit of squash. That's just a pint glass.
Oh, Jesus. That's like a Homer Simpson one, that is.
Yeah,
That's nice. That's nice. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, we've got all sorts of pint glasses.
I need a big drink.
Yeah. Definitely just nicked from a pub somewhere, probably from Manchester.
Well, there you go. Happens. Right in, team. Welcome back. That was probably the intro. Welcome back to the Scratch Record podcast. We're here today by a band that we have already interviewed, but no one saw it because it didn't come to fruition. We did a whole podcast.
You know that Jack Black song, Tribute, Tenacious D?
Yeah.
The best interview in the world. This one is just a tribute.
Yeah.
Literally. It was brilliant. They've recorded at Abbey Road and Rockville Studio, multiple EPs, which have done amazingly. They have polarized the scene. I know you wanted me to get this on. I know you wanted me to get this on. That's actually unrecorded. They've polarized the scene with their music as well as their online presence. If you either love them or you don't. It's either or, and I think most people that are listening to this podcast will definitely enjoy the music they've got coming out. And they've just released a live album as well as a new EP, which is on the way or potentially might be out by the time this comes out. We have Citylightz joining us on the virtual sofa. How are we?
How's it going?
Let me just start this off by asking you guys a question.
Oh. Got a minute.
Hello.
Control complex. What's going on there?
You either love us or you hate us, but bear in mind, it's going to depend on how this interview goes, like how you answer.
So do you love us or do you hate us?
Of course we love you.
Well, we love you, but it's a question for the audience. We're going to get a poll going when this comes out. Do you love or hate Citylightz?
Yeah, straight out. Love them or done.
I ain't sharing that one. Don't ask questions again. I normally do the interviews.
Oh, fucking hell. Well, as we said, I literally said to her before this, we have done this interview already. Okay. So the likelihood is I'm going to keep saying, and other people might as well, when we spoke about this before and shit like that, I'm going to really try not to because it ruins the magic.
It's all good.
Do you know what I mean?
It's all good.
But I think as we have been doing traditionally through this series now, we've started off, if there is anyone listening who doesn't know who Citylightz are, give us a little bit of a rundown, who you are, what type of music, if you can, and just kick it off that way.
Go on.
So, the best band on the face of the planet,
and other planets.
We're not being discriminating against any planets whatsoever. If it's not inclusive, wasting your life. Five friends, genuine mates, because they annoy the shit out of me most of the time. And the influence.
Yeah, a bit of everywhere. I think this is where our sound comes across, because I listen to Oasis and Stereophonics and also a lot of Guns N' Roses and rock music. Whereas you listen to, what do you even listen to?
Mate, I listen right now I'm listening to Joyner Lucas, Gets, Chip.
He's all rap stuff.
Adele. No, not all rap stuff. Adele, just slip a bit of Adele.
Can I ask one question, which actually is going to be really important because I like my hip hop, I like my grime. What's your favourite Gets song?
Right now.
Well, now, or you what?
Mozambique.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, good.
I have to admit, I'm still old school with Gets. Artillery is a song that I just never get over. I'll never get over Artillery.
Yeah, he's just a mean lyricist, but I like all kinds of music. Then you've got Ad.
Yeah, he's into
blues,
guitar
reggae.
Stuff. Yeah, likes his blues, his reggae sort of stuff. So we get like a bit of scar sort of stuff in there. And James likes like Rage Against the Machine and Chili Peppers. So that's where the slappy, bassy kind of stuff comes from.
Tom likes to hit things.
You'd say that Tom's just an angry drummer.
I don't have influences.
It comes out. So when five of us come together and we start making music, you just pull bits of everything from everywhere, and it sort of becomes.
It just kind of happens because if it doesn't work for one, two, you can get outnumbered sometimes. that has happened a few times. But generally, unless everybody's
if everybody's not feeling it, it gets chucked in the bin.
Do you find that hard then? Because I do think with your stuff, like you can tell in the music that you put in a lot of things together, but you do pull it together. Like it doesn't sound too chaotic. It's not like, oh, it's jumping around genre. Like it is its own genre, but it's just been put together by different elements. Do you know what I mean? So is that hard to do? Because I guess you could start off and it's a bit jumbly.
It just comes. We pull it from the sky. Yeah. This magical rainbow aura, and we bring it, and it just gets molded into this beautiful piece of chaos.
It's never forced.
It's just there, man. If someone just goes, look, I've got a great idea, bang, everyone's like, bang, we're on it. It's just the same.
Some of us get upset sometimes because...
He gets upset sometimes.
I get upset sometimes. I'll come with a lyric and like, it'll be like, that's shit.
It's shit. Yeah.
You've got to be honest.
And my genuine reaction will be like, who the fuck is he talking to? But... sometimes it happens to other people, like you might bring a riff.
Sometimes you still make the cut. I mean, to be fair, if you go in the Citylightz recycle bin, is what we call, like, your little bin you got on your computer, we've got about 30 songs in there that could have easily made the EP on a different day. But somebody bought it on a Tuesday and someone was a bit pissed off and it just never made it. It's just one of them. On a different day, that would have been like a number one track on the EP.
Do you ever do it on purpose? Like, let's say like Luke comes in for a riff and you think, that's unbelievable, so I'm going to say it's shit because I can't have him bringing in a riff that's going to be unreal. Do you try and like fuck him over?
But if you told me my last bar was shit, I might be like, nah, mate.
Exactly. You'd be like, yeah, your riff's shit then. Fuck it, it's off the EP.
So Ad never turned up to a rehearsal. Well, I can't remember what he was doing. He skipped a rehearsal and we wrote Elevator.
No way.
He hates the song. He hates it. Even every time we say, I'm going to put Elevator in the set, he's like, no, fuck Elevator, I don't want to play it. He wasn't there in the moment. So, I mean, you get that as well, but you bond with you when you write them and you make them.
Yeah, it's all part of the fun, isn't it, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And what was it like for you lot beginning? How did you lot start off? What was the origin story of Citylightz as it is now?
I mean, me and Ad, we've been mates since we've been like 15 years old, so probably younger than that. We both got guitars for Christmas. We both went home, come back Christmas with guitars. Oh, guitar friends!
Imagine them two both strolling to school with their guitars in their backs.
Bet you had a quit. Did you have like one of them sleek spike at the back jump?
Bro, get out! No, shut up. It wasn't like a little one, bro. It was like this.
The emo.
And Ads went the opposite way.
When you got your guitar case on, you're 14 and it's bigger than you, like. We came into school, we both had the guitars, and we said, let's start a band. That's the first thing we said, let's start a band. Neither of us could play anything. And since we've been 15 years old, me and Ad have been in a band together in some form. It was like rock and roll or punk rock or whatever. We've been in a band together. And I think we was, 18? Well, yeah, about 18. I went to college, I met B. We both had a music tech course, and then basically skip forward. We had a house party one of the days. So me and Ad used to live together, and B came down with some friends, and me and Ad were just having a jam. We had a couple of tracks. So we had Thousand Dreams, which wasn't yet Thousand Dreams; it was about to be, and we had No Love, which we released as a B-side not so long back. And B just came and just did a couple of words on it, and it was fucking cool.
It just worked.
Yeah, it was like, this sounds great. And then he came back the next day, and I think we recorded our very first.
Yeah, I think I skived work for 2 weeks, and we recorded like a whole album, whatever it was at the time.
It was about 6 tracks, like a 6-track EP, which had Thousand Dreams on there, No Love, a couple of really old songs. We still got it now. We literally recorded them in the dining room, just as they were. And then obviously we went to our first proper studio and recorded Thousand Dreams properly with a few other tracks and whatnot. And that's when we sort of kicked off a bit then. We had a good run, didn't we? We were playing.
Yeah, for a bit early on.
We was doing the Academy 2s and 3s regularly. We were all, we had some decent slots. We were pulling in some big crowds, selling out 300 cap venues.
Yeah, we were doing all right,
man. We were doing all right. We had a good little run.
Hit the self-destruct button.
Hit the self-destruct button.
Sometimes you want to push the big red button.
It gets boring, doesn't it? Like we're killing it, so just fuck it.
It was not going too well. It was too easy. So we thought, fuck it, let's set the world on fire. So we did. And then we stopped playing. I don't know why we broke up. Someone probably cried. I don't know.
We fall out quite often, but not as much nowadays.
Not so much now. We've grown up a bit, haven't we? But we just fall out. But yeah, we fell out and we stopped playing for a good 4 or 5 years. What do you longer than that?
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, we're still mates. Like, we still kept contact and we talked to each other about other stuff. We just did no music.
Yeah.
So were you in other projects while that was going on, like other bands and stuff?
Yeah, I think he did some solo rappy stuff, which I ended up recording.
Yeah.
I didn't really do much, to be fair. I didn't even play guitar or nothing. I sort of had just like a period of nothing.
Wild.
Ad kind of... He's always
around the music.
Because he's a great guitarist. He's always in and out. Some session playing, some bits and bobs. And we hadn't met James and Tom at this point, so they weren't in the band yet. And then we got back together and James started playing the bass. I used to play the bass in the first Citylightz.
Because no one else ever wanted to play the bass. And then when he did find someone who could play the bass, he'd be like, you're playing it wrong.
Yeah, then judge him for it.
And then we invited James, and he became the bass player. Like for 4 or 5 years on, we started jamming again. We just said, let's get in the studio, just a bit old, something to do. And as soon as you put 5 musicians in a studio with something to do, bang, there's a set of 4 or 5 songs. And then what do you want to do with them? Let's fucking gig them. So then you start booking gigs, and all of a sudden you're in the band again.
I think that's one of the main differences this time around was we did it more. The first time around, we kind of put the pressure on of trying to do something big and stuff. And then this time around, we was just like, you know what, we just enjoy it now. So we're going to just do what we're doing.
If we don't get on the radio, fuck it, they're lost. If we don't, we just did it for the fun there, just rock and roll.
What was that first gig back as a group? What was that like for you? Like, was it almost like a breath of relief?
Yeah, we supported Alabama Free, wasn't it? It was Alabama Free at the Academy 2. Was it Academy or the Institute?
It was the.
So it was a big gig. So they'd sold the Airbed 600 people, something like that, and it was like our first gig back, and we hadn't played for years.
Wow!
We fucking stormed it.
We did, what, Alabama Free were sick as well.
Have you heard Alabama Free?
No, I haven't, to be fair.
They did, Sopranos. You know the Sopranos?
Oh, right, yeah.
The theme tracks, they wake up this morning.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mate, theirs off their heads as well.
Crazy. The guy came in on a wheelchair in a lab coat, and someone pushed him up. And mate, it was mad, and there were strobe lights. Mate, it was crazy.
That's sort of sick though. It gets you up for it, doesn't it?
Yeah, mate, it was the craziest shit. When we were sitting there in the audience, watching them, what the fuck is that? But the crowd obviously knew that this was their thing, and we had no idea. And someone's in a lab coat, and they're picking up the wheelchair, and
fuck me,
mental. It was crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah, I bet you get it on YouTube after this. It was just unbelievable.
Have you had any tropes live like that? Anything that you've gone, right, lads, we're going to do something a bit weird or a bit interesting, or is it just get out and fucking play it?
Nah, normally do a bottle of whiskey backstage, get on the stage.
That's all you need, isn't it?
Rock and roll.
Yeah, well, I think as soon as you back the tunes, then you don't really need anything else, do you? It's just
to be fair, a gig. I mean, when you come to one of our gigs, which you will in June/July.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, definitely. You never know what you're going to get with us. We wing everything. Sometimes we literally wing the set list.
Really?
If we're feeling this is going well, the crowd's loving it, we'll fucking stick proof in there.
Yeah.
We've got to mellow down. We'll drop it down. We win gigs.
I like that.
It was in Manchester. I can't remember who we played in Manchester, but we was having a joke in the crowd with somebody at the set list. I said, we've got one song left, and he said, no, you've got 2 songs left.
Yeah.
And I went, shit, what do you want us to play? And I think it was proof. He said, proof, and we said, fuck it. We rehearsed it for months.
Do you know what I used to play as well? There's this thing that these lot will do. We'll write a song. And I ain't quite finished writing my part, but they'll be loving it because
it's a good
they've
song,
done all of the music together, and then we'll go on stage and I'll be like, we're doing the new song, and I'll be like, no, we're not fucking doing the new song.
Doesn't even have the second verse, so he has to repeat the same verse twice. We're just buzzing. We probably only read on Friday, and we're giving it Saturday.
And then they play it for an extra 10 minutes long, because they're soloing at the end, and I'm like,
you're turned around come on, lads, we got to be
honest. We just love it, don't we? We just have a good time,
Have fun, man.
Mate, Swinging Bombs is 6 minutes long live.
Sick.
Guitar solos everywhere. We're breaking it. We're just having fun.
I am very excited to see it, to be fair. I really am. So what's been the best gig that you've done so far then? What's been the pinnacle of that?
For me, it was Camper Calling because it was the first festival.
The first proper festival.
And like in some things, nobody really knows us. Like, I know you think we're absolute rock stars and I can't walk down the street and that, but sometimes I just walk into the Costco or whatever. No problem.
Just like no dramas.
Occasionally, I'll go through McDonald's drive-through by myself.
So, what? I was going to say hood up and that still. Like, you're not taking the piss.
But yeah, that was great because
first proper festival. It's not your crowd, is it? A festival crowd? You know what I mean? It's whoever's there.
Yeah. So and it went well, man. We managed to fill the tent up, and we gave main stage a bit of jip because they had.
Who was on main stage? Was it Ash? I think it was Ash.
Yeah.
Ash, like burn Ash. It was on main stage, so I think we was nicking. We could never
nicking their fans.
Yeah, we was nicking their fans, and then I think when they come back on, they nicked the tent.
Yeah.
We was giving them some fucking grief.
Yes.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was a good gig, that one. Shotty Horror was good. You know Shotty Horror?
Yeah.
We supported Shotty Horror in Birmingham. That was a stormer as well. The big gig.
Shotty smashed it as well.
Yeah, it was good. I'd say them one. And the headlines. I mean, every time we always put our own headline on once or twice a year.
Yeah.
In Birmingham.
When we're allowed.
Yeah, when we're around.
Does it cause some chaos then?
Yeah, always causes chaos. So we usually do the Academy Free in Birmingham or the Institute, to be fair. And they're always stormers. They're always, it's a full out. Everybody's having a good time. We put our own supports on. It's a good night.
And we have a drink.
Yeah, we have a drink.
Do you? One or two? Yeah.
The odd couple.
Just a little one.
Yeah, a couple of lagers, I'm sure.
A couple of bottles of whiskey.
Each. Yeah, class.
Go on now. Go on, Joseph.
I was just saying, speaking of Birmingham, because we've had a few people on now this season from Birmingham, and I think we've had a lot of people speak very highly of it, especially like as a music scene. How have you found it, like coming through Birmingham? Have you found it like supportive or difficult, or like how have you found it?
I don't think we find anywhere that supportive because we are the Marmite, like
we're a bit different to everybody else. It's a very cliquey scene, and if you are in that scene, then I'm sure you will be successful within that circle. If you're not, you won't. And it's never boded well for us, has it? I mean, most of our fans, when I'm shipping vinyl out, it's all Manchester, London.
Yeah.
We're Scotland, Ireland, God, even USA and stuff. I mean, we've got a decent following.
We do get some love, but it's just not as tight family unit as you would think.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Do you think that's because the music's a little bit more divisive then? Like people are just like not quite making their minds up, or?
Yes, I do think that because you can't put us in a box. Like a lot of people will be like, it's not what I usually listen to, but like, I'm like,
we had one. We sent an PR campaign out this morning, and we sent My Life out to a fucking punk magazine.
Oh, really?
And he replied back just saying, "Hi guys, it's not punk, but I really like it."
Yes.
Like, I'm going to post it.
Good.
Good on you.
I like that.
That's why it's amazing. We was buzzing. That's the best review I've ever had. It's not.
Yeah,
punk.
That's mad.
I like it.
Yeah. And to be fair, who's he to say it's not punk? Like, what is punk? Do you know what I mean? Like that.
My mate, he's posted my song.
I replied back saying we're punk at heart anyway. So. But the music's a bit different. We're a bit older as well than the Birmingham bunch.
The Birmingham bunch. That's a good name.
I'm trying to be grumpy old men. I'll just be honest.
Yeah.
Get these little bastards off my lawn.
Everybody knows the score. I'm being fairly diplomatic about it.
Don't be. That's not a good YouTube clip if you're diplomatic about it. Come on.
But ask them, they'll probably just tell you that.
Yeah, ask them. Say, do you like the Citylightz? And they'll tell you.
We should have done that, We should do that more and more. Just ask everyone we have on about the other bands and just talk.
You start some ruckuses.
Yeah, it'll be worth it.
Who did you start a beef with before, just for the sake of it?
Everybody.
Go on, do it now. Call someone out now.
Oh no, don't call nobody out.
Nah,
we've only just got over our fucking drama.
Yeah.
We always make a joke in the band. Me and B want to do an album cover shoot of us on rubber dinghies and just loads of burnt bridges around us. Yeah. and we want to call it Burnt Our Bridges, Bought a Fucking Boat.
I like it. That is sick.
Yeah, it's all right. The Birmingham scene, it's all right. It's divided from the rest of the UK. You know, it is. And I can see why people in Birmingham get a little bit frustrated. I always feel it's a bit like everything. There's more opportunity in Manchester and London and Liverpool. You know, especially like Liverpool, they come from the culture of the Beatles. They embrace it. They embrace new music. Manchester, you know, they've got the Oasis and Stone Roses, all that sort of stuff. You know, London's always been the capital and forefront of everything. And the Midlands is a very talented but overlooked area.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, even if you forget unsigned bands and small bands, you name me 10 huge bands that have come out of the Midlands.
Couldn't hardly tell you any, to be fair.
You know, you got the UB40, the Specials.
Yeah. But then you start to run.
You know, it's not. And I don't think that's because the talent's not there, because it is. There's some great bands. I just think the opportunity's not there.
Yeah, definitely. We had a similar conversation about Leeds with like Apollo Junction and stuff, because I was saying like Leeds is a similar one that's full of talent, like full of amazing bands, especially now. But like if you try and name 5 massive acts that like, as you just did, like you're like, oh, actually, which is weird because it's a big city, but sometimes that's good, because then we were saying like some Manchester bands maybe feel like they have a lot to live up to, or like you have to follow a certain thing, whereas like bands like you guys can come out because it's like there isn't a Birmingham sound. You can just come out and do
what you're doing.
It works. So I think it's interesting.
There's all pockets though. It's a weird, fickle industry. It's all strange.
Very political.
So, I mean, mate, if you're in a band and you start sending press releases, and that's some of the emails we get back from some reputable companies, and it's not, we like your tune, it's great, it's cool, you want a feature, it's £300.
I don't understand this. People pay, all right. Why the fuck are people charging to play people? I don't get it. Like if we get a track when I'm planning the radio show, I don't put press releases on, because as soon as you start putting them on, you have to do it for lots of people. So when they come out, I hype them up when they come out. Yeah. I think that's when it's most important.
Plus, it's easier because you can put it in a playlist when we're doing this.
Yeah, I don't have to like fuck about with it too much, because I don't have the software. When you see these people that are like the similar sizes to me and Joe, and the similar size to what we're doing here, like 1,000 followers on Twitter, 700-800 on Insta. Like we're not huge, but we're big enough to make a little bit of a
big in the game.
Yes, bro. Thank you very much. I just think that when people are like coming out and being like, look, this is what the cost is. A review's £100, fucking feature on our radio shows, 250, 300. Who the fuck are they to restrict who listens to these tracks? I don't understand how people can make financial gain out of that when there's so many other avenues to manage to collect the capital from the customer instead of collecting it from the creator.
We've twice as well, mate. We've paid a small amount of money for, and it was reviews, both by a very reputable DJ. I'm not going to drop names and people.
Oh, go on.
Fucking Emma Scott from Kerrang.
Oh shit!
Okay. You had to pay her.
Yeah. So yeah, this was a long time ago.
So you wanted some beef? It's just like.
I'm going to let her on Twitter. We're having it out.
Yeah, come on.
Listen. So I've still got the emails.
If you can send us a screenshot of that, we'll get it in there.
In the thumbnail, we'll have the emails in.
There was an X price, I can't remember, 30 quid, 50 quid, wherever it was, to review a series of tracks and to break it down and tell you about the listenability and radio ability and stuff like that. And we thought, fucking hell, she's a radio DJ. We don't get much radio. This will give us an opportunity to break the songs down and find out where we're at.
Yeah.
It seemed like a reasonable thing to do. So we got it back. Emma Scott didn't even write it.
You're joking.
No, it was her partner.
That's even fucking worse. I don't like what's the fucking point? Like I could write people a detailed review on whether it could get radio plays because I rate like I've got a good ear for it.
Yeah.
But what the fuck does it depends on who the fucking listener is.
Yeah.
I don't like you can get shit on Radio 1 that I fucking hate. I hate it. I despise some of the stuff they play on Radio 1. But at the same time, I fucking love the other half. You can't have someone be like, "Oh, this does well on radio," because the only reason things do well on radio is because radio DJs play it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. No one picks the songs. There isn't many fan-led radio stations.
You are aware, so how the business works, radios run on a playlist, A, B, and C, the ABC list. To get on those lists, you don't submit your songs because you're good. There's cash involved.
Yeah, of course.
There's cash. Yeah, the big labels are paying for the spots, and I mean, you get it. If you watch the Defiant ones on Netflix,
you gotta watch that.
I need to see that. I've said that every time I've seen it.
I mentioned it last time, but Jimmy Iovine's talking about one of the new artists, and he's saying, "And we bought every top radio slot in America." And that phrase, straight as soon as he said it, we bought every top radio slot.
Yeah.
I mean, they paid a shitload of money to get a song on the radio.
Yeah.
You know,
It's fucking stupid.
But the further you go down the rabbit hole of the industry, there's so much of it.
I think that's what blew my mind, because I think with radio, especially like the national radios, I think I always had an assumption that it's like that anyway. It's all bollocks. It's all who you know. It's all the DJ deciding it. But when it was pages that are like smaller than us, being like 20 quid for a track of the day, I'm like, hold on. I was like, if we get 20 quid for a track of the day and that's how it works, I was like, well, we can both quit our jobs right now and fucking... Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That's just not how it works. The whole point of it is that the only reason people follow us is because we're trying to boost these people to then boost us to then
show good music that you're passionate about.
That's the whole point. Like
you can't say that everybody doesn't have genuine like.
It's weird though. I think we assumed it did. It's probably naive of us, but certain people that are just in it.
We assume the same. Even now, we've been bitten loads of times from it, but we still think, let's submit our track to the radio. They still might play it.
Yeah.
I mean, you better just send them a fucking check.
Yeah.
I'm obviously not an artist, but BBC introducing and all that stuff. What's the process with that? Have you ever been involved with that?
Yeah, we've been involved. So that's quite good.
You submit a track. Though,
you submit a track. Your local DJs listen to it. Your local DJs put them on. There's no cost involved.
It's quite.
The only thing I don't like about BBC introduce, I get why they do it, but it's very much. So we've got a big fan base locally already because we're fucking awesome.
Sick, exactly.
So when they're promoting the music on the local radio, we're not
gaining. Yeah.
You want to play Manchester BBC introducing London's BBC.
Right. I have a thing about this, and I applied for Northamptonshire BBC introducing. I didn't get it, but I applied.
It's their fucking loss anyway.
Well, exactly. I'll have to do it some other way.
We'll just overtake him and mate. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Well, we already have bigger social pages than the BBC introducing Northamptonshire, so
shots fired.
There you go. Anyway, I did a thing because I was like, I sent him a video because I wanted to make it a little bit differently. I was like, I want to tell you how I want to change the show you're doing. I wanted to give them a reason why I'm better than everyone else, essentially. And I basically said that I wanted to do. What did you see?
Your height.
Yep, that is it. That is all I've got. Height and cock length. That's it.
Pretty much.
Too far was that? Yeah. But essentially, I said that I wanted to do almost like a transfer list, like a transfer window, where all the other stations sent each other in like a pool, and it gets shot out in almost like a lottery, and it gets bounced around. So everyone, say 1 week we get BBC introducing West Midlands, and then they send us 2 or 3 tracks, and we send them 2 or 3 tracks from the area, so it gets played. And I just think that's what's missing from them smaller localized.
About having just 1 out of 10 band every show, or something just that 10 band of the week that you focus on and
expand.
I mean, the problem is we're working with big corporations like that is that they've got a process and it's stuck in its way.
Yeah, it's archaic as well. Everyone, it's also it's all been happening since fucking 70s.
Exactly.
And that ain't gonna change just because social media tells them to. It's just. The people that are in control are too old. We just need to wait for them to die off. That's the problem.
Exactly. I would say that it's true. No, it's right. And So I say the BBC introducing the format is, they try and do good things for band. I mean, we don't do it anymore. We don't submit our stuff, but I mean, I can see why bands do it, and because I can see the advantage. They're all right, yeah.
There's advantages to it, but you can also just invest in yourself and your own promotion and all your own graft. And like, at the end of the day, invest in yourself. You are your business. You're your product. Whatever.
Well, I think that's
fun.
For sure. I mean, that's what you've done so well, is that like at the end of the day, even if it gets played on any radio station, you don't have 10K followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's a bigger group of people than you'll probably find on any radio station locally.
Yeah.
So it's like, actually put it in that, build up your following. You're putting stuff out there to more people than you'd probably ever get. So that's like,
I mean, look, we dropped a preview of the My Life video yesterday or the day before. It's got like 11K views already.
That's good time.
Straight away, the local station just isn't going to do that, and we've got that because we built that relationship and that with the people. So
exactly. So is that something you did quite consciously? Like, did that start when like the second coming of Citylightz? Was that when you sort of?
We definitely started the second coming, but it wasn't like a plan. It was kind of what was available to us to grow our fan base, because we knew that's what we needed to do if we were going to continue to grow and do the things that we wanted to, because we're just ticking off bucket list stuff now for ourselves. You know what I mean? We want to do this. Let's go ahead and try and do it. Like,
I mean, I think with the social media thing, it grew though. I mean, people say, like, a lot of people have started to say, oh, you guys have got this format. And a lot of people have started to follow the blueprint of pre-order the vinyls before the vinyls come and interacting with the fans. I know loads more bands do it now, and they never used to do it before. And for us, it's not a blueprint. It's not something we go, oh, let's do this because they'll buy our record. Mate, we're on Twitter. We're having a fucking good time. We're here for a laugh. We're here to
enjoy life.
We're in the community. Mate, I'm sharing your posts as much as you're sharing ours. We're just there to have a good fun. And as a consequence of that,
it just grew.
It grows.
You know what I mean? It's community led, isn't it? Twitter's one of them ones. It's so and music in general is so community led that I find even me and Joe didn't realise, but when we started on Twitter and started talking to the right people, I guess, or the people that have been in the community for a long while, and they almost take you under their wing, like you guys, Sam Shiner, there's like Indie Rob and a few of the older heads that have been about the scene for a while. They seem to almost like even just a little repost here or commenting on your stuff or you commenting on their stuff, it helps build that community because they're coming from reputable sources and stuff like that. It kind of builds this. I feel like we could bump into you lot, Sam Shiner, Indie Rob, any of them. We had a lad who's what was in that indie blogger or something. I think he's one of the ones that's like fairly in the community. And he was like, oh, like we'll go for a pint at some point. And it just
only down the road, isn't he?
Yeah, it has. It's really good. And that's why it's been so successful though. Because all these people, and all they are is none of them are professionals. They're just well into music.
Passion projects for sure.
Well into music, and then they just want to push new bands. New bands want to be involved. And if you're all focusing on the same goal, you know, sort of subconsciously, it just becomes a thing, doesn't it?
I kind of feel like we've been part of growing the scene for ourselves, like not growing just ourselves. Like the scene that we're in now is bigger than anything that we had to have a crack at before. So. That's from you guys bringing people and, like you say, Shiner Sam and Indie Rob and everyone, bringing people to a place where we've got access to as well. So keep up the good work, lads.
Yeah, keep bringing the fans.
Well, I mean, one thing you mentioned was ticking stuff off a bucket list. And I think you've done big ones there. It's ones that I know that anyone speak about last time and we didn't. It was really good. So we'll go through Abbey Road and Rockfield Studios.
Go on.
What were they like? How did it come about? What was that experience like for you?
Abbey Roads. I mean, Abbey Roads has been. I'm a massive fan of the Beatles. Every time I go to London, I go to Abbey Road just to look at the building outside. And I remember the last time I went was years ago. Like, and I look at it and I just look. I thought one day I'm going to go there. It was that sort of place.
Mom, I'm going to go there.
I'm like fucking 25. Like, Mom.
Why is your mum still so much taller than you?
She's 8'5".
I'm pretty short. So we was in a studio in Birmingham, recording the old shit, whatever that was. I can't remember.
Did we didn't record anything? Did we?
We Had Enough or something.
Had Enough was probably one of the other ones.
It was in Birmingham. We was in the studio doing some demos. And I think the conversation just came up, just like, wow, man, imagine going to Abbey Roads.
No, you and Ad had the conversation.
Yeah, me and Ad had the conversation.
Called and said, we're going to Abbey Road.
Pretty much.
You're like, okay.
Basically, so I went off and did the whole send an email, find out what you got to do, where you got to get there, what the costing is, what the process is. Before you know it, bang, we're off. We're going. And at first, so we was never supposed to do an EP.
No.
It was supposed to be a live performance, a bit like the Rockfields one.
Okay.
Cool.
And then we were talking to the engineer who we took with us, and this is where we come up with our method of recording.
Yeah, the way that we do it.
It was like, we want to record live, but we don't want to record live. We still want it to be like a single.
Be able to mix it.
Yeah, both. And then that's when we come up with a format of, we'll record all the band with the rap vocals at the same time. We had the amps in cabinets. And because Abbey Road is such a big studio, we had all this space that you wouldn't normally get in. You couldn't do this in Birmingham. It's too small.
Yeah.
So when we worked all this out, we said, shit, we can get a fucking EP out of this. And that's what we did. That's what we decided to do.
It was bloody costing it up.
Yeah.
We've got to try and recoup some of this money we spent on the bloody studio.
But actually, like I always say to people, so the cost of Abbey Roads, if you fraction it out per song and per video, it's cheaper than us going to a studio in Birmingham per song, per video.
That's crazy. That is mad.
Yeah, you have to highlight the fact, though, that it was the method that
it's
we
the
put
way
it
we
down.
recorded it. Yeah, you can't just go fucking multi-tracks to the drums.
5 tracks in a day.
You've got, we did it live. Every song that you hear on Rock and Roll 1 and 2 and 3 is no more than 3 takes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's all you get. Bang. 3 takes and you go, that one. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's the song,
Oh, that's wild.
You've got that rawness about it and you can tell it.
Yeah.
But walking into that's the first day we went there the night before, didn't we, then to London?
Yeah, and I was like, will you calm down and act like you belong in here?
Listen, he's playing it there like he's all like, oh, he wasn't that fussed. I've got a video of him walking around with his phone taking selfies of himself.
Yeah, but
living the dream. He phoned his mum.
Yeah, but he's not running down the corridors like, have you looked in Studio 2?
You're sat in the corner like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm just meant to be
we were like school kids.
So.
I mean, like, you've seen the videos on YouTube, all that. That's just us natural, just being in the studio, having the best time of our lives.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And we've got so much behind the scenes footage and we're just having a great time. And it was the most amazing experience we've ever done, and I think we will ever do.
Yeah, nothing
I'll ever top that.
The initial feeling of landing in
time in Abbey Roads. Now, the second time we went to Abbey Roads, we fucking acted like we owned the place. Yeah. Different there. We'd been there before, mate. Fucking feet up on the table.
Yeah. Honestly,
we ordered £150 worth of chicken wings.
Yeah.
We fucking eat them.
I mean, I think that was the 5 of us. There was a couple of other people there. Like, we did share, a lot of chicken wings and a lot of chicken grease on knobs and sliders.
Yeah. As if anyone recorded Abbey Road and all the knobs are greasy. That's exactly who did that.
When Liam Gallagher went in on the day after or whatever,
I was going to do an impression, and I'm not going to. That nearly came out. I'm not going to.
Actually, so the first time we went to Abbey Roads, I think we were there on the Friday, and they were set up in Studio 2 for Liam Gallagher's album to do the strings, and he was there. He was there on the Sunday like 2 days after.
Because we couldn't bump into him.
So Liam Gallagher's dodging us. So that was the first time we almost met Liam Gallagher. The second time was when we released Rock and Roll 1. It went to HMV London.
Oh yeah.
They asked us to come and do a signing on the Friday. And they said, we've got a special guest in, and we didn't know who the special guest was, and we didn't know nothing else. So we couldn't do it, and we rearranged, and we went the following Friday. So Friday, I was fucking chilling out on Twitter. Bang, fucking Liam Gallagher's in HMV.
Oh, no.
Signing his fucking album.
Oh, mate, that could have been it. You might have got support. That might have been it.
I know. So that's twice we've almost met Liam Gallagher. So the first 2 times Abbey Road's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Rockfield, I mean, again, a great.
It was amazing, but you know what? It just felt like I wanted to just move into Rockfield straight away. Like Oldley.
Yeah. All in the middle of nowhere. Accommodations on site. So you got your room there. Everybody got their own room.
Yeah.
There's like a living room, and then the studio's there.
You can just roll out of bed and just
whenever you're ready,
Like when we landed there, we had like a big, massive dinner, like around the dinner table.
It was like a home life. It was a holiday. It was like a holiday.
Yeah.
And completely different studio, completely different vibe.
We had a bit more time as well at Rockfield.
What's weird though, because there was all this energy at Abbey Road, and Rockfield was more relaxed, but the Rock and Roll 3 EP at Rockfield is fucking raucous as fuck.
Yeah.
There's so much attitude and energy in it.
It was a bit different as well, because all of the Rock and Roll 3 was kind of wrote in the exact same period of time. So all of those tracks was about a month, maybe 2 months old when we landed there. Because again, they just book Rockfields and say, lads, we're going Rockfields.
Just doing it.
So we're doing it,
What's going on here?
We booked Rockfields before we had a song.
Fuck.
So we booked the studio and we knew we were going at this day, and we just knew whatever. We were at first, we said, right, we'll get 2 new ones and we'll re-record 2 old ones. So the plan was to like re-record Had Enough and Proof.
That never got
and then 2 new ones or something like that. And then fucking before you know it, we're 5 tracks.
Yeah.
We wrote My Life 2 weeks before we went to the studio.
Shit, that's incredible. I mean, there's nothing to motivate you like spend all that money on a studio, and then you're like, we've got to get these songs down.
We need some fucking songs out. So we wrote them all in lockdown from August to like fucking December, I think it was. Whereas the other EPs were, we'd write a couple of new tracks, but we'd bring in a couple of old ones.
Yeah.
They weren't written as an EP, so this one's definitely got that. You could tell they're all
similar sounds and tones and that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you've mentioned it, let's dive into it a little bit further. Got My Life and this new EP. Have you got a date for this EP yet? Because this is going to go out in a while.
So we almost did until they fucking unlocked the world again, because that makes a big difference to us.
Yeah.
We released Rock and Roll 2 in fucking March.
Yeah.
And we never got a chance to gig it. So we've got Rock and Roll 2 that we still need to sort of get out and gig it, and we've got Rock and Roll 3 that we're about to. So I think that the plan was to release it quickly. So we
was looking at April, wasn't we?
Yeah, we were going to go My Life Friday, a week tomorrow. I think the next song was going to follow 4 weeks after that. And then within 2 weeks, we're going to drop the EP. Bang, fucking have it. Now we're discussing it. We don't know what's for the best.
It's fucking hard, isn't it?
Yeah, because I'd love to drop it in fucking July when we can go out and smash some gigs.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But then I feel like we've already committed to My Life. Do we need to just fucking jump in and
keep the momentum going, like so?
So we don't know the conversation we're having. We don't know where we're at with it yet.
I suppose a good thing with them being like EPs as well, like if you've got like especially like headline gigs and stuff coming up, longer sets, I suppose you could probably bash out the majority of Rock and Roll 2 and 3 in a set if you needed to.
Yeah, I mean,
so if you've got both out and then the summer comes, you can have big gigs and do all of it.
Well, this is why we book our own headlines as well. There's normally like 4 or 5 bands on a bill.
Yeah.
Fucking one support, mate, and we'll play for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
We'll do a fucking, mate. We're ready for Wembley, we are, mate.
Yeah, that's the next bucket list one, isn't it?
Is that your got like if you could like someone said to you could do anything musically, I'll grant your wish.
Wembley, I'm done. Wembley, I'm done. That's
Wembley.
It. Really. I had 1 gig at Wembley and I'm fucking setting fire to my guitar afterwards. I'm going on.
I like that.
I'm out, fucking done. That's it.
I'll film it. I'll be there with my camera. Gimbal, just the gig finishing, you walking out to the car park, you douse it in petrol, set it on fire, you walk off.
I'm setting it on fire on the stadium. I'm setting it on fire there and I'm chucking it into the crowd. Fuck it.
On fire.
If I'm going, Wembley's going with me.
You're murdering your fan base live on stage.
The whole lot. Yeah. They think you're throwing water on them for out the gig. Petrol.
That's it.
And there goes the Wembley gig.
That'll get clipped up at some point down the line.
Wembley, I've got one that nobody's ever done. Stonehenge.
Yeah, I respect that a lot.
They're not letting you play music near Stonehenge for the fucking. You're like, can we play near Stonehenge, one of the oldest fucking relics in the world? We're gonna have 2 bottles of whiskey and then play a fucking massive set next to it.
The rocks are massive. They're going nowhere.
With one of the stones.
Set fire to them.
You've got Stonehenge. You've got the hill. You've got the road. Rock.
And.
Where's Grant? Someone call Stonehenge, quick.
I'll give him a bell. I'm sure there's one bloke you can ring to book Stonehenge.
They follow us on Twitter.
You're in. You're in. Would you do it? Would you do it so it was in the background, or would you be in the middle?
In the middle.
In the fucking middle.
Sitting on the top of on a different stone.
That'll go down, I'm sure.
I tell you what, we'll compromise. We're happy to do it in the middle. We won't touch the stones.
They're being fair, Stonehenge. Now, come on,
that's reasonable. We should tweet them, shouldn't we? Just say what you're saying.
Say it up.
Right, when this podcast comes out, we're doing a big campaign.
Yeah.
We'll get all of our followers, all of your followers to tweet Stonehenge. We'll get
Stonehenge straight away. Citylightz Stonehenge hashtag. Bang.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Make it.
Imagine that. Hey, I'm done then. Like Stonehenge, that's it. Who else going to say that? Because I thought if anyone was going to play Stonehenge, you'd be like fucking U2 or something, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I can imagine U2 and there being like it just being a video or something, and it's panning round. It's like some sweeping shots from like a stone.
He'd be flying above it.
To Bono with his fucking goatee.
Candles and
it would be awful.
Yeah.
Well, fuck off, Bono.
You shotgunned it. That's it. Right, we've been going for. What was it
50 minutes?
50 minutes already, which is nutty.
Is he sending us home?
Yeah.
He's sending us home.
We're trying to keep all the podcasts to around an hour because it just kind of does better for view time. Well, it means we'll just have to do another one, won't we?
Have you got any fucking questions for these next 4 minutes? Go.
Well, I do. I have a scenario section.
We've got a new section.
We've got a new section.
Time, so you're lucky, really, we've had to redo this.
We have. So essentially, I'm going to ask you some scenario-based questions, and you're going to have to give me an answer, and the person who's going to help you with the scenario, and it has to be from within the band.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I I'll get into the first one, you'll get the gist of it. So you're doing a world tour. You've managed to you've stepped down in Africa, in some of the rural areas of Africa. For some reason, you've managed to get a gig booked in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, we're fucking rock and roll stars. Yeah.
Exactly. You've been taken hostage by a tribe that you have decided to unsettle.
Yeah. That's
unsettle. Yeah.
There is only one of you that has been taken hostage. The person that's been taken hostage, who is it most likely going to be that's going to get caught and trapped by this tribe?
No. That's not going to get caught and trapped. That's going to be the one who's going to survive. It's going to be Tom. Probably because we're going to have a little discussion and we're going to decide that we least like to fight each other, and Tom's going to be the one that we're going to hold that.
You see the trap and you're like, Tom, walk over there, mate. Just go over there. It's like, snags him.
Grab one of his drumsticks.
We're happy. No, he's a bit gullible like that as well.
Yeah, he's too nice.
Tom, do us a favour, just go over there. You don't even know why. Just go over there.
Keep going.
Yeah, the drummer's gone. He's gone.
Drummer's gone. See, looking for a new drummer after the Africa tour.
The Africa tour.
So, right, the next one I've got for you. The world has been decimated. It's almost a little bit like your stuck sticks and stones. It's all from the beginning. You've managed to build yourselves a shelter as a band, and you're living together. You're still all as a crew. Yeah. One person has to go out and tame a mode of transport, which is most likely going to be a horse. So you need one person to go and fetch the horse, bring it back, tame it, and it's then your fucking almost car.
Our guitarist, Adam Bolger, right? He is the Bear Grylls.
He is Bear Grylls.
Oh, really?
Like, he called me the other day, and I'm like, where you been? I've not been able to get hold of him for 2 days, and I've been camping. I said, who's with? He went, myself.
What?
He's a fucking mate. He builds hammocks in trees and shit.
Oh, fuck. Tell you what, though, in that situation, that would be so fucking useful.
Yeah.
To have someone that would just be like, I'll sort it. I'll build this.
But the thing about Ad is, Ad would build a hammock, and then you'd be like, yeah, bro, you're going to build us all hammocks. Fucking build your own hammock.
He's got this thing, and I'm like, what's that? He's like a life straw. I said, what the fuck's a life straw? He's like, I can drink a puddle of water, and it comes out, and it's fucking water. And I'm like, you're my guy, man. When I'm going to his house.
Yeah, that's wild.
Mate, he's got fucking crossbows and axes and all sorts.
Yeah, whoa.
Hang on.
We always say though, when he's 40, he's going to live in a log cabin by himself.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah.
When like if we was massively successful and you buy a mansion and stuff, he's buying a cabin in the middle of the woods.
Mate, post Stonehenge, first thing he's done, log cabin, off he goes.
Mate, he'll put a hammock on Stonehenge.
Don't say that. You're going to lose his deal.
No,
he won't. He won't.
Promise. He won't. Promise. Right, last one I've got for you in this scenario section with Citylightz. It's been a rough year for the Girl Scouts. It's been a terrible year. They've not been able to sell many cookies.
There's a title.
And they've decided to hold some English charm at gunpoint, and you've got to send one of yous out to sell the most. Who's going to sell the most Girl Scout cookies selling door to door?
It's you, man. It's you. Definitely you. Because he'd be like, come on then, I've got these cookies, we're going to save the world. And they're like, oh, go on, I'll help then. Just one box.
Whoa, yeah.
I think it's an easy sell. You sold it yourself anyway. Look, the Girl Scouts have had a bad year. You don't want to upset the Girl Scouts. You know what I mean? You don't want to do that. If you buy this one box of two boxes of cookies. You buy these 3 boxes of cookies.
They're 3 for 2. Yeah, actually, we're chucking them on it, you know.
They're 3 for 2, and you've only got 20. We'll bring the change back.
Yeah. We're back tomorrow. We'll
bring the change back. I'll take my card machine so I can take card payments over there. We're not messing about.
James, stop eating the cookies.
We're selling them. They're all gone, and a copy of Rock and Roll 1 and 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, flog the rest of them while you're there.
Pre-order for Rock and Roll 3,
the yellow T-shirt.
Imagine like a cookie van with all you lot in it, playing your music out and just fucking selling cookies around Birmingham. Love it.
We're not messing about. So I reckon I'm selling cookies.
Yeah, you are, dude. He's a salesman. He's definitely a salesman.
All right. Well, that ends scenario section, and obviously at the end of. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tip my hat.
Quite funny, to be fair.
Yeah, hey lads, you do know that recording symbol stopped about 30 minutes ago.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Don't even. That's it. Just never
the sweat just pisses from my forehead. I'm like, really?
It'd be too embarrassing. We'd have to just block you, and that'd be it. Yeah. we tried. It didn't work. Sorry, lads. Good luck.
Before they said that, if you didn't enjoy this interview, the first one we did, I promise, was
it was much better.
It was the best interview I have ever done in my life. You were on fire, mate, and then that thing happened.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. It was.
I almost burnt down my studio or something like that.
If only you would have seen it.
The YouTube videos would have been incredible if we'd managed to get it all throughout.
1 million views day one.
Gotta have been.
We've already played the Stonehenge gig.
We'd have played the Stonehenge gig.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Right. Well, as it comes to the natural end of this second but first Citylightz podcast, we normally have a section where we shout out bands that we're enjoying at the minute. They're up and coming in the scene. So have you two got anything at the moment that's up and coming that you're enjoying?
Yeah, man. I like Moonlight Parade.
They're sick.
Top band, top guys. I've got more fucking Moonlight Parade records. I've got Citylightz records.
They're really they look so good though. Records.
Because they use the same vinyl guy. I introduced them to our vinyl guy.
You're joking.
They nicked our guy.
Fucking bastard. Right, here we go. Right, I should have shouted out Moonlight Parade and then just later.
Wankers. Great guys, great band. I like Revelry. They're good. They're a young band, 14 years old, 13 years old. They're fucking, they're class. To be that age and that confident and that good already.
Writing like that,
their future is going to be massive.
They're good on Twitter as well, aren't they? They're always supporting everyone else as well, which is class. Going to be
one of the big bands, I reckon, in the next few years even. Last one's Crimson Bloom, mate, fucking sleazy guitar.
Yeah, I like them.
Good. They're really good.
I like their new track. That they Stir It Up is a fucking good track.
Yeah.
What else am I into?
Citylightz.
Citylightz. Good band.
Yeah, they're all right, I've heard.
I like Colombia.
No, I don't like him, mate.
Oh, you don't like Colombia?
No, Citylightz. Colombia is sick.
Colombia are really good. We've checked that before. Yeah, they're a bit more level though. Everyone can kind of like them, whereas Citylightz,
everyone loves them.
You know.
They were I think they might be one of the very, very first bands we shouted out on this podcast.
I think they might be right, actually.
I think it, like first episode.
They're a top band. They're a really good band doing some bits as well. But yeah, we like. I mean, oh God, we support any upcoming band doing their thing. You know,
it's hard out here.
It's hard graph.
Yeah,
that's hard.
That's why we'd never even bother. We'd just speak about them instead.
Yeah, I'll get my steel pans out at some point, but later down the line when it gets easier.
He could do some steel pans. Our drummer's just been kidnapped.
Yeah.
And he's still down in fucking Africa. Fuck me.
All right, Joe, have you got one for us this evening?
I've got one. I wanted to give a shout out to Taxi with Strangers.
Oh, what a great band name.
Yeah, sick band name.
Strangers.
Taxi with Strangers.
Is that Meg's? That's Meg's one.
Meg Riley's band. Well, not her band.
No,
so
she PRs
Meg Riley from Indie Rocks. She has like a PR management account, and I've written down the @ so I can shout out properly.
Yeah.
@ MLR MGMT. So MLR management, but it's just MGMT. And she's doing a lot of really good work with some up-and-coming bands, like promo and getting them about. So she's doing really well. And one of the bands that she's been like sending music over to us is Taxi with Strangers. And their newest one called Let Loose is a really, really fucking good song. Because she's been sending us a few of theirs, and I'm like, yeah, really, really good. But you know, like, again, we get a lot, and it didn't quite stick out. And then this newest one, I was like, okay, like I like this now. Like it needed a little bit more production stuff, and then this one, they've nailed it. It's got like a longer intro. Good riff, really raw vocals. It's got quite like a sports team type vibe in the chorus. They go a little bit more like spoken words. Yeah, it's just, I was like, yeah, I like this. This is really good. So
sell me on a good band name. If you got a great band name,
you got to check it out, innit?
Two things, a good band name and great artwork, and I'm in.
Yeah. Their artwork is sick as well. They're really good. They're really pulling, you know, again, like a few, and they're just pulling everything together. Artwork looks good. This new track's their best one. So they're one to check out.
Cool.
Yeah, I've got another one that's like that. That's the artwork pulls in. They've only got 3 singles though, and it is Shocks. I added them to the playlist, which when this comes out would have been like 2 months ago.
It's probably not yet.
But like ages ago. And I also played them on the radio show ages ago. And I put in the I Need Air, which is almost like a heavier, it's got like punk vibes to it, but it still sounds like an indie rock and roll like guitar tune with like punk elements to it. But they've just released Crocodile Tears, which is their newest single.
Good name tune.
Yeah.
We need to mate. What a shit.
But then, so they've released that, and it's much slower. It's almost polar opposite to I Need Air. It's like it just really shows that they can kind of turn their hand to anything. And they're one of the ones that actually tweeted us on our New Music Fridays when we do like them. And you know, just to show everyone that it works, keep tweeting us because we do listen to them. But some of them are really, really fucking good. That Crocodile Tears they released mid-Feb. It's mental, so good. But that is Shocks. So get looking at them.
And we'll also give both of them a share on your behalf.
Yeah. Oh, do it. They love that.
Fucking love.
Absolutely, yeah. Spread it, and everyone's all happy. It's all hunky dory.
Yeah, we're so nice to each other. It's nice, isn't it?
We're all happy. We're always happy, aren't we?
No. Not at all in the last hour. Anyway.
Yeah. He will be when the phone call ends.
Get your music out there, and if people say it's shit, just send
it. We're them as well. I bet anyone fucking sends us a song over, we'll share it.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
You watch it when you get like fucking
you won't say when you got 100 DMs after this comes out. Random fucking shit.
We do. I don't care. Like, we'll share anything if we can help bands further. You know their audience.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what? This is how we've done what we've done by people sharing and helping. And you know, like you say, you got to do everything you can to put yourself out there. It's exposure that's going to help grow bands.
Absolutely. And if the person that you've sent it to don't like it, it's not the end of the world. People aren't gonna like it. That is just fact of when you're doing something creative, people aren't going to like some of the things you're doing. And Just keep going with what you're doing. Send it to more and more people. And out there will be somebody that will perceive your music, your art in a positive manner. And I just think it's the more exposure.
So like 90% of people hate us.
Yeah.
Well, there's 8 billion people in the world.
So, you know.
What's 10% of 8 billion?
It's like 5.
A fucking lot.
I like how we answered that.
Yeah, there's the opposite answers.
It's a lot.
Fucking low, it's like 60 bajillion or something.
Yeah. It's at least 12, mate. You'll be fine.
That's what's a it's a numbers game.
Yeah, no, I like it. And to be fair, I think it's quite mood dependent. Like, there's literally been times where I've listened to a song and been like, oh, I'm not sure. And then it'll literally pop back up again. And I'll listen to it. I'll be like, that's fucking good. And I was like, I listened to that last week and I didn't like it. And now I'm like, that's the best song I've ever fucking heard. Like, sometimes it is just keep pushing it, keep making people do it. Because sometimes it is just a bit of luck, like timing, mood wise, where people think, like, just keep grinding, innit?
Yeah, man, that's it.
What a positive note to end on that. Keep going, team.
Mate, that's not the Citylightz I know.
I know that.
Yeah.
Ruining our reputation.
Bunch of fucking cheerleaders or something.
Yeah. Selling Girl Scout cookies, rooting for the scene.
You can do that to lost it.
This feels like a fucking setup. This thing.
That's all it is.
I mean, to be fair, we did call Emma Scott out.
You put that on yourselves.
Yeah.
A nasty tweet.
It's cool. It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah.
It is what it is. But anyway, it's been a fucking pleasure having you boys on. I'm glad we've finally got one out, slapped out, done it properly.
Wood, fucking hell.
Oh, yeah. Well, if people are fucking listening to it, then they're going to have heard it's done all right. So I'll go with it's worked well. I'm glad you've all been here. And if you know you've enjoyed it, make sure you like and subscribe, get involved, follow us on social media. Make sure you're following Citylightz too. They've got some incredible stuff coming out. And hopefully their EP might be out. It might not be out. It'll be coming out though if it's not out. But yeah, make sure you go follow, listen to them, and we'll see you all on the other side. Peace.